Dear students, today we will study Weygand's theorem. According to this theorem, algebraic sum of the moments of two coplanar forces not forming a couple acting on a rigid body about any point in their plane is equal to the moment of their resultant about that point. We take two cases. In first case, when forces are intersecting, and in second case we take when forces are parallel. According to Weygand's theorem, algebraic sum of moments of two coplanar forces not forming a couple acting on a rigid body about any point in their plane is equal to the moment of their resultant about the point. In first case, we consider two forces acting at a intersect at a point. When two forces intersect at a point, that is the line of action of two forces intersect at a point. Suppose that we have two forces P and Q intersecting at point O and R be their resultant. Clearly R will also pass through the point O because P and Q are intersecting forces. Suppose A be the point about which the moments are to be taken. We draw a line OX which is perpendicular to OA, and also we draw AN perpendicular to line of action of force P. Now, moment of force P about A point A will be equal to magnitude of force P into perpendicular distance AN from the definition of movement of any force, that is always equal to magnitude of force into perpendicular distance from the point about which movements is to be taken on the line of action of force, this perpendicular distance. This can be written as P into A. If we multiply by OA and divide by OA, then this P into AN will be equal to P into OA into AN upon OA. In triangle ONA, AN upon OA is equal to sine alpha. This means moment of P, force P about A will be equal to P into OA sine alpha, where alpha is the angle which the direction of force P makes with OA. This can be written as OA into P sin alpha, and this P sin alpha can be written as OA into P cos 90 minus alpha, because cos 90 minus alpha is equal to sin alpha. This means moment of force P about O will be about A will be equal to OA into resolved part of P along OX, because P makes an angle alpha with OA, and P makes an angle 90 minus alpha with OX. This angle will be equal to 90 minus alpha. Therefore, resolved parts of P along OX will be equal to P cos 90 minus alpha. This means moment of force P about about A will be equal to OA into resolved parts of P along OX. Similarly, moment of force Q about A will be equal to OA into resolved parts of Q along OX. This means algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about A will be equal to OA into algebraic sum of resolved parts of P and Q along OX. This can be written as OA into resolved parts of R along OX, because algebraic sum of resolved parts of P and Q along OX is equal to resolved parts of their resultant along OX. OA into resolved parts of R along OX will be equal to moment of the resultant of the force R about A. This means for two intersecting forces P and Q, moment algebraic sum of moments of these two forces P and Q about A will be equal to the moment of their resultant about the same point A. Now we take second case when forces are parallel. In this case we take two sub cases. First sub case when forces are like parallel forces. Let P and Q be two like parallel forces and O be the point about which moments are to be taken. This is the point O and this is the force P and Q. Clearly their resultant will be equal to P plus Q because forces are like parallel forces. Therefore their resultant will be equal to R is equal to P plus Q. This resultant will act at a point C on line joining which lies on line joining AB points of applications of P and Q such that P into AC is equal to Q into CB. We have already proved that for the like parallel forces this C point lies on AB in such a way that P into AC is equal to Q into CB. Now we have taken moments about point A. We take first case when point O lies outside AB. Suppose O lies outside AB on the line joining AB. Now algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O is equal to P into AO, P into perpendicular distance AO plus Q into OB, that will be equal to P into AO can be written as OC minus AC. OA is equal to OC minus AC plus Q into OB can be written as OC plus CB. OC plus CB. This can be written as P into OC plus Q into OC. This can be written as P plus Q into OC minus P into AC plus Q into CB. But we have already proved that P for a resultant R to be a resultant of P and Q acting on point C, P into AC is equal to Q into CB. Therefore minus P into AC plus Q into CB will be equal to 0. This means algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O will be equal to P plus Q into OC, but P plus Q is equal to R. Therefore algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O is equal to R into OC, that is the moment of resultant R about O. Now we take second case when point O lies between within the point A and B. Suppose this is the position of O. Now algebraic sum of P and Q about O will be equal to minus P into AO. Negative sign is taken due to the clockwise sense of movement about O. This P will produce a clockwise movement about O. Therefore we have taken a movement of P as negative, and Q will produce a anti-clockwise movement about O. Therefore we have taken it as positive, minus P into OA plus Q into OB. This will be equal to minus P into AO can be written as AC minus OC, and OB will be equal to OC plus CB. This will be equal to minus P into AC plus P plus Q into OC plus Q into CB. Minus P into AC plus Q into CB will be equal to 0, and the total movement, the algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O comes out to be P plus Q into OC. But P plus Q is equal to resultant of parallel forces P and Q. Therefore, algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O is equal to moment of their resultant about O. Now we take second sub case when forces are unlike parallel forces. Forces are unlike parallel forces. Suppose that P and Q be unlike parallel forces and such that P is greater than magnitude of P is greater than Q, and O be the point about which moments are to be taken. Now, from O, draw perpendicular to the direction of these forces to meet their lines of action in the point A and B respectively, so that the resultant R, because magnitude of P is greater than Q and forces are unlike parallel forces, therefore R will be equal to P minus Q. Suppose this resultant acts at a point C, which lies on the line joining A and B, such that P into AC will be equal to Q into CB. Now, when when O lies on outside the point line joining AB, suppose this is the position of O, which is outside the AB. Now, algebraic sum of moment of P and Q about O will be equal to P into this magnitude of P will produce a force P will produce a anti-clockwise movement about O. Therefore, we have taken moment of P as positive, and Q force acting at P of magnitude Q will produce a clockwise movement about O. Therefore, algebraic sum of P and Q will be equal to P into OA minus Q into OB will be equal to P into OA can be written as OC plus CA, and OB will be equal to OC plus CB. This comes out to be P minus Q into OC, because P into AC minus Q into CB is equal to 0. This is equal to 0. Therefore, algebraic sum of moment of P and Q about O is equal to P minus Q into OC, and this P minus Q is equal to R. Therefore, resultant of algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O is equal to moments of their resultant about the point O. Now, we take O, the point lies inside AB, where two unlike parallel forces P and Q act. Algebraic sum of P and Q about O will be equal to no, because O lies between AB, therefore sense of movement produced by force P will be clockwise, therefore we have taken it as negative, and also the movement of force Q will also be anti-clockwise. This will be also taken, we have taken negative, minus P into AO minus Q into OB is equal to minus common P into, if we write OA as a difference of OC minus AC, and similarly OB will be equal to OC plus OB, OC plus BC, sorry, BC minus OC, OB is equal to BC minus OC. Now, after multiplication and simplification, we have minus P minus Q into OC plus P into AC minus Q into BC, but P into AC is equal to Q into BC, because see the point where the resultant of P and Q act. Therefore, P into AC will be equal to Q into BC. This comes out to be 0, and this algebraic sum of moment of P and Q about O is equal to minus P minus Q into OC. But P minus Q is equal to R, resultant of the force P and Q. Therefore, algebraic sum of moments of P and Q about O is equal to moment of the resultant force R about O. This completes the proof of the theorem. Now, we prove that the algebraic sum of resolved parts of any two parallel forces acting on a rigid body in any direction is equal to the resolved parts of the resultant in that direction. We take two cases when forces are like parallel forces, when second case we take when forces are unlike parallel forces. Suppose that P and Q be two like parallel forces making an angle alpha with the given direction. Suppose this is the direction OX. Therefore, the algebraic sum of resolved parts of P and Q in the given direction will be equal to P cos alpha plus Q cos alpha. If we take cos alpha common, P plus Q cos alpha, because P and Q are like parallel forces, therefore the resultant will be equal to R plus R is equal to P plus Q, and which also makes angle alpha with the positive direction of x axis. Therefore, P plus Q will be equal to R cos alpha. R cos alpha is the resolved parts of the resultant along the same direction. Now, second case when forces are unlike parallel forces, suppose P makes an angle alpha and Q makes an angle Q is parallel and opposite to force P, which also makes an angle alpha with the given direction. Now, suppose P is greater than Q, then R will be equal to P minus Q will act at a point C. Suppose this is a point A, this is a point B, and this is a point C, which is also parallel to P and Q, makes an angle alpha with the positive direction of axis. Suppose we take this direction as x axis, positive direction of x axis. Now, algebraic sum of resolved parts of P and Q in the given direction will be equal to P sin alpha, cos alpha, plus Q into which makes an angle, Q makes an angle 180 plus alpha, that is P cos alpha plus Q cos 180 plus alpha, but cos 180 plus alpha is equal to minus cos alpha. This comes out to be P minus Q cos alpha, and P minus Q is the resultant of the force P and Q, which are unlike parallel forces. Therefore, algebraic sum of resolved parts of P and Q along a given direction is equal to the resolved part of their resultant along the same direction. Let us take an example. Suppose a force x at a point 3, 4 of the xy plane. The force is directed away from the origin and is inclined at 60 with the x axis. The horizontal component of force is 5 kg weight. Determine the force F using Wigner's theorem. Calculate the moment of F about the origin and also find the perpendicular distance of the origin from the line of action of F. Suppose this is the force F, which makes an angle 60 with the horizontal direction, and this point A is point 34. Now we draw AL perpendicular on OX and AM perpendicular on OY. Given that horizontal component of force is 5 kg, therefore horizontal component of F will be equal to F cos 60. This is equal to 5. By putting the value of cos 60, which is equal to half, F into half is equal to 5. F comes out to be 10 kilogram weight. Magnitude of force is equal to 10 kilogram weight, and y component of this force will be equal to F sin 60. F sin 60, because F is equal to 10 kilogram weight and sin 60 is equal to 3 by 2. This comes out to be 5 into under root 3 kilogram weight. That is, y component of this force is 5 under root 3 kilogram weight. Now, by Wigner's theorem, the moment of force F about O will be equal to algebraic sum of the moments of their resolved parts along about O. Resolved parts of F are 5 kilogram weight along x axis and 5 under 3 kilogram weight along y axis. This 5 kilogram weight, that is x component of this force, will produce a moment in the clockwise sense, and this will be negative and will be equal to minus 5 into perpendicular distance AL, and component of F along y axis which is equal to 503 kilogram weight will produce a anti-clockwise movement about O, that will be positive, because we always take clockwise sense of movement as negative movement, and anti-clockwise sense of movement as positive movement. Therefore, movement of force 5 about O will be negative, and movement of force component 503 will be about O will be positive, and will be equal to minus 5 into AL plus 503 into AM. Now, by putting the value of AL and AM, because this point is 3 5, this means AL is equal to 3 4, sorry, this means AL is equal to 4, sorry, and AM is equal to 3. By putting the value of AL and AM, minus 5 into 4 plus 503 into 3, which comes out to be 5 common 303 minus 4 units. This is the algebraic sum of moments of all the components of force F about O. Now, suppose that this line of action of force F makes an angle, makes a perpendicular distance of O from point O from the line of action of F. Suppose this is equal to small p. Then, according to the definition of moment of force F about O will be equal to magnitude of force F into perpendicular distance p. Magnitude of force is equal to 10 kilogram weight, and perpendicular distance small p. Therefore, moment of force F about O is equal to 10 p. But we have already calculated that by the Wegener's theorem, moment of F about O comes out to be 5 into 303 minus 4. Therefore, 10 p is equal to 5 into 303 minus 4. From this we see that p comes out to be 3 under 3 minus 4 upon 2 units. So, this is the Wegener's theorem, and by using the Wegener's theorem we can calculate the movement of a force about any point. Next, we will discuss some more examples on the magnitude of force, magnitude of movements about any points, or Wegener's theorem to calculate the moment of force about the origin or any other point. So, thank you, students.